Game 1 in Crypto.com Arena, and tonight it feels as close to a must-win as a Game 2 can get. As we say hello to our reporters here, Brian Windhorst and Dave McMenamin. Brian, I want to start with you here just to set the table for us here. What is at stake for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight?
Well, you got to look at this, Malika. The realistic way to look at this is the Lakers really have two options to get the type of offense they're probably going to need against the Wolves. One, their role players who struggled in Game 1, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, are going to have to step up and hit some outside shots because the Wolves are trying to force the ball in their direction. Or, and this is probably where the series is going to really come down to, the Lakers' three stars, which obviously Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, are going to need to play awesome basketball. I don't know what the magic number is for them to score, but it's going to have to be a lot higher than it was in Game 1. Those are really the two pathways for the Lakers to have success. They didn't really get success in those two pathways in Game 1. Minnesota, you know, is going to be smelling blood in this game. They need their star players or their role players to come up big.
You mentioned LeBron James. Let's key in on that here, Dave, because the Wolves were able to limit LeBron to 19 points in 36 minutes in Game 1. Are the Lakers expecting them to be able to repeat that tonight?
Well, listen, LeBron James has played more playoff games than any other player in league history. He certainly has the experience. He knows what it's like to make adjustments between a Game 1 and a Game 2 and find some success. But the Wolves came into this series, Malika, looking to try to limit LeBron James in the transition game. And certainly the Wolves dominated in Game 1. They won that battle 25-6. And they believe in a half-court setting, Julius Randle can compete with LeBron. I'm not saying he's going to win the battle every night, not saying he's a better player than LeBron, but certainly that can be played somewhat to an even. And if they can keep LeBron out of transition, not only is it going to not allow him to keep his numbers what they were in the regular season, but it gets the crowd out of it. Because we know Crypto.com Arena goes nuts seeing LeBron James on the break.
Absolutely. Julius Randle really was able to stay a little bit in front of LeBron James in that game. It's going to be one thing to key in on tonight. Brian, more from you in just a little bit. Dave McMenamin, thank you so very much. This really, though, is going to be a case of if Los Angeles wants to be able to flip the script here in Game 2, they're going to need to make adjustments. So Chiney Ogwumike is going to join us for this conversation. It looks like she's making a little bit like a grand entrance here, just like the Lakers are hoping to in this series, right, Chiney? What are they going to need to key in on here?
Look, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they set a franchise playoff record with 21 made threes. The Lakers have to defend the three-point line. Let's go to the tape so I can show you exactly why the Lakers have to be better. First, it starts with the blow-bys. You get a blow-by, and what does that do? That means the help defense is late. They're rotating late, and this is wide open threes. This is straight up target practice for many of the Timberwolves players. Again, a brush screen, a slip screen. Now that creates a lane, and you never help off of the corner side. You never help off of the strong side. You're reaching, and again, these are just wide open, easy threes. And last but not least, again, there's some more action here. 4 Lakers players are keyed in. Instead, you're supposed to be below defenders, and now you find another corner shooter. I think he had 4 threes, Naz Reid. So the Lakers, their number one thing is to take away the three-point shot. Yeah. I'm looking forward to J.J. Redick's adjustments.
It's been their game plan all year, though. It feels like they've left three-point shooters and said, okay, if that's how you want to beat us, we're going to pack the paint. So they're going to need to make that adjustment there if they want to avoid becoming the 36th team in NBA history to lose the first 2 games of a best-of-7 series at home. Of the first 35, just 5 came back to win the series. Most recently, the Clippers in 2021 against Luka Doncic's Mavericks. As we say hello to our front office insider here, Bobby Marks. Bobby, you saw one thing in this game that Minnesota, you feel like they have, that you're not so sure Los Angeles does. What is that?
The most important word in the playoffs, trust. Woo. How do you trust your own players? And we're looking at this Minnesota lineup right now, and we're not even putting Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley out there. You can go 7 players as far as who Chris Finch trusts. Certainly Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Naz Reid. Battle-tested players. I trust these 5 right now. The Lakers, on the other hand, that's a little bit of a different story. Mystery men. Who's 4 and 5 for them? Luka, Austin Reeves, of course, LeBron. Who is those 4 and 5 players? Who does J.J. Redick trust as far as this group? It could be probably Rui Hachimura, certainly Dorian Finney-Smith. This is the biggest question I have for the Lakers team. Here are 2 players here. Does J.J. Redick trust this starting 5 down the stretch? We didn't see this on Saturday night because the game was a blowout.
Right.
If this game is close, who are going to be those other two players for them?
And can Austin Reeves, having typically the third best defender, that third best defender isn't Jalen McDaniels or someone like an Anthony Edwards, can he have a breakout game here? We're going to get to that in just a little bit because the Lakers are looking to even things up. Another Los Angeles team did that just last night. We uncorked, Chiney, a vintage Kawhi performance here in Denver. Game 2, looking to even things up, and Kawhi Leonard, he came out hot.
There's a reason why I say this is my favorite series, but more importantly, we've got vintage Kawhi back. Do we say it's the claw? The claw. I'm a fan of Jim Carrey. Yes, it's scary things for the rest of the league.
He finished with 21 points, 90% shooting in the first half here. To the fourth quarter we go. Things were tight down the stretch. Bobby Marks, you called for a
redemption game. Michael Porter Jr. redemption game.
1 point game here. Denver has the lead. Another player that we were looking for a little bit of redemption from, Norm Powell there, who gives it up to Ivica Zubac and one.
Better late than never.
Amen. But it was Kawhi, the claw in the clutch here, who took over Sinead. That's Aaron Gordon.
And the double.
Yeah, commit, but honestly, it was just one of those nights where prayer defense is best.
Right. Minute and a half to play here. The ball comes loose. The Clippers control it here. Watch Kawhi. Gives it back. Norm Powell, huge three-pointer here.
Clutch. This is like the season for him, his breakout season.
The energy is contagious. And then keep an eye on Kawhi here. Gets to his spot, elevates, and gets it to go.
I have no words. His mid-range, he's back to being that monster.
But it wasn't just offensively, Sinead.
Correct.
You don't see this very often, but Kawhi able to extend. Jokic doesn't make passes like that.
He does, and I think it was an uncharacteristic night for Nikola Jokic, but a lot of the credit has to go to the Clipper defense.
Absolutely. Seeing it again here on full display. Christian Brown tries a three. That one way
Another
off,
chance.
as Mike Green would say. Nikola Jokic tries for it again and just can't get it to go. So the Clippers hang on. Just as a reminder of what Kawhi Leonard did in the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, scored or assisted on the Clippers' final 7 points, had a huge steal with 37 seconds left, and contested the game-tying attempt from Nikola Jokic as time expired. A 39-point night from Kawhi. He could barely contain his excitement.
Anybody in the business, that's playing and knows how hard it is to either come back from injury or just even playing in the NBA. I'll just keep playing, try to stay in the zone, get to my spot and shoot, and just live with the outcome.
I feel like he ain't missed a shot, man. His shot-making ability is elite, you know what I mean? And that's the aggressiveness that we need from him. You know what I mean? No matter what's going on, no matter who's guarding him. This is what Kawhi lives for, trying to get to this point where he's healthy for the playoffs. And we know if we got a healthy Kawhi, we can win any series.
Brian Windhorst back with us now as the Clippers get the win here. Brian, the Pistons are playing winning basketball games, winning playoff games. You're joining us from back in Cleveland, and Kawhi just dropped 39 points. I have to look at my calendar. What year is it?
Yeah, so you may have heard a little bit, Malika, about a Los Angeles acquisition of a first-team All-NBA player in February. That was Luka Doncic. Guess what? The Clippers acquired a first-team All-NBA player in March. Because for the last 6 or 7 weeks, this has been 2019 Kawhi Leonard. If you closed your eyes, that could have been him in a Toronto Raptors jersey in 2019. This is when Kawhi is at his absolute best. Getting to his spots, getting in isolation, the defender not knowing where to go. Look, they had Aaron Gordon on him. Aaron Gordon is one of the best isolation defenders in the league.
Absolutely.
He is 6'10". Kawhi just defeated him. This is the stuff that the dreams were made of when they traded all those first-round picks for him back in 2019. They've been waiting for this. Kawhi's been working for this. He is building towards this and building towards this when he came back at midseason. And if he's able to maintain this level, and of course that's a big if because we just can't depend on his health, then the Clippers are not a 5 seed. They are something greater because he has elevated the whole team.
They are something much more formidable when Kawhi Leonard is playing like he did 39 points last night. And Bobby, I know that you looked at Kawhi and you said, okay, he's great. But they can withstand some greatness from Kawhi. It's another player that he brought along with him. Who is that?
It was Norm Powell.
Yeah.
And I think you certainly saw the incident, the little skirmish with Jamal Murray. I get the hug right there.
Yes, the lip.